Shifting gears. Okay. Main topic of this episode today is, have call centers ruined the Medicare industry? Well, I feel like this is a deep topic for us to kind of get into today. And I don't think it's a simple yes or no answer necessarily. Glenn, what are your thoughts on that? I feel like the average agent, when they hear the term call center, they cringe up. They immediately think of Jimmy J.J. Walker. They immediately think of Joe Namath. They immediately think of these spammy television commercials that are just kind of luring in clients with false benefits, frankly. Uncompliant false benefits advertising. Like, that's what I feel like the average agent thinks of when they think of a call center. What do you feel like agents should think of when they think of call centers? Or is that it? Is that what they should think of? What is your thoughts on this?
We've already had so many comments of agents that are, again, I kind of figured this would be a little bit of an inflammatory topic just because this seems to come up all the time. Call centers are ruining the industry. Call centers are creating all this additional compliance. It's the call center's fault. It's not our fault.
I literally had someone raise their hand, or my CE yesterday, and tell me that exact thing. Literally. Seriously. Like, I was talking about, what we as agents can do with this new CMS administration coming in. And basically what I said was, I'm like, we need to be shining examples. We need to do business the right way. We need to, leave our clients better than we found them. We need to think about our intent of what we're doing. And of course, we need to support organizations like NBIP, HAFA, that are trying to get in with this new CMS leadership early, and kind of get in their ear early. And so that's what I'm talking about. And so as I'm saying that, one of the agents that is in the CE raises his hand, and he's like, I'm sorry, but I don't really think us as agents are causing this. I think it's the call centers that are causing the increased complaints to CMS, which I don't think is necessarily wrong. I think if you looked at, like, let's say we had this giant list. There's like 50 million complaints to CMS or something. Let's say you have this giant list of complaints, and you're going through them all with a fine-toothed comb, right? It'd take forever. I would imagine that the vast majority of them are call center related. I would believe that.
Well, I think it's really simple. It's just volume of business, right?
Right.
I mean, there's a call center that I've been working with for a long time. They'll probably generate 50,000 apps this year. I mean, the most independent agents, or even agencies that are brick and mortar, you've got a strong force in the field of agents. They're not going to write 50,000 apps this year. So, I think that's where this disparity is coming into play, right? The other problem is that, yes, there are some really bad actors in this space, similar to what we just talked about a moment ago with ACA. Obviously there's some great ACA agents and agencies out there who have been doing everything by the book from day one, who, you should absolutely work with. But the flip side is, again, in the call center space, there are bad actors, and there are people who are doing great jobs and aren't doing anything on compliant. But it is a bit of a bad apple ruins a bunch type of situation, in my opinion. The other part, when I think call center, here's what I'm thinking when I hear this conversation too. And obviously I have my own perspective because I come from the call center world. I've been an owner and operator of a call center for a decade now. So obviously I have a very unique perspective on this. And I think a lot of times agents are thinking about the overseas call centers who are genuinely doing some serious illegitimate things, such as trying to actually enroll a prospect. There are call centers in Pakistan and India and other places, probably some in the Philippines potentially too, where they are literally going to try to, under some agent or agency out there, essentially flip a policy.
Maybe they're even saying they're Medicare.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Hey,
maybe
this
they're
is
calling up.
Medicare. Yes. Yes.
Hey, this is Medicare. We need to
Yes.
get some information on your plan.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think it's a great point. And, obviously, so my opinion on this and what I said yesterday in response to that question at the CE was I feel like there are good call centers and bad call centers.
Yes.
I do feel like there were 3 or 4 massive call centers that when the rules really kind of started to peel back and the compliance just really wasn't there as much, that they did so much damage, like publicly traded call centers,
Yeah.
names.
I know all of those. I know all of them. I know exactly what you're about to say.
Names that probably most of you watching would know. I do think like those organizations, massive call centers, publicly traded call centers, I feel like they did things, they towed the line so much and pushed things so hard in terms of the boundaries that I think they just did just as, I mean, I would imagine if you put all of those together, part of it is volume, like you said.
I think it's almost all volume. If field agency was writing 50,000 apps and they were doing bad things, they would be on the radar too, right?
Sure, but I think it's not just volume; it's volume with combination that they're doing bad things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I take like a field agent, for example. Let's say there's a field agent that's doing bad things. They're probably going to get caught, even if they have like 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 clients, like they're going to get caught eventually.
But see, that's the thing though, is the average field agent only writes 5 apps a year, 10 apps a year. So
let's take them out of it though. Cause like, I don't think the complaints are coming from those guys.
Well, that's my point, right? Is even if you were doing things completely illegitimately, but you're writing super low volume, your chance of getting on the radar of CMS or someone else is super low. It's like lying on your taxes, right?
Yeah.
If you only make $50,000 a year, the IRS probably isn't going to come snooping for more tax money because there's really nothing there, right? Like,
right. Yeah.
But if you're making $10 million a year and you're lying on your taxes, now the IRS might be like, oh, whoa. What's going on here, Christian? You don't have 10 children. Why did you say that?
So here's my thought on it, right? Like, I think there's some amazing call centers out there. Like there's clients that we work with at Lead Heroes that are call centers that do a great job. They have a good operation, everything like that.
Absolutely.
Our friends over at like Boomer Benefits have a tremendous call center organization. They kind of are like a shining example in a lot of ways and kind of the right way to do a lot of things. So there's a lot of really great call centers. My argument would be that the ones that are doing things bad are doing things so bad that I think the average field agent, if an average field agent is cutting a corner, I just don't think it compares. Like, I'll give an example, right? I'll never forget years ago, I was at lunch with a couple of agents, and TV commercial comes on during lunch, and it was one of the spammy celebrity commercials. So I was like, I wonder what happens if I called. So I'm at lunch with these agents, and I get my cell phone and I call speakerphone, and someone picks up the phone, and the first question they're asking me, they're like, "Hi, this is so and so with so and so. May I please get your Medicare number?" Like the first question. And so I'm like, "Why do you need that?" "I'm just calling for information." "I'm gonna need your Medicare number to verify your information." And I'm like, the fuck, So I'm like, I won't do it. I'm just like giving pushback. And then she's like, all right, well, you call back when you're ready to take this seriously. Hangs up. It's a publicly traded company. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to collect Medicare numbers up front like that. Like, that is so spammy and so crazy. And then like, I think a lot of them were, doing some pretty wild things with offshore call centers. And again, offshore call centers is not the problem in and of itself, right? Like we own an offshore call center, but they're
major carriers have their own offshore call center, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's not it's not offshore call centers is not the problem inherently. That's another red herring that I think people get lost on a lot is it's the overseas call centers. It's like what? Like the ones that all of the major carriers are using? Or, again, some people are doing things very illegitimately, and it's unfortunate for all of us because it does hurt the industry overall. So, but if you had to gun to your head, just answer the question. If someone put a gun to your head and you had to say yes or no, and you can't go in between on this, have the call centers ruined the Medicare industry? And you just have to say yes or no. You can't.
You're backing me into a corner.
Yes.
I would say I'd lean more towards yes than no.
Oh.
Because I feel like there's more sketchy things going on than there. I feel like for every, boomer benefits type, great call center out there that does things the right way. I think there's like 10 really.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Does CMS want more based on what you feel like the direction of the industry is going, compliance that has come out from CMS, and where the industry is going? Do you feel like they want more call centers? Yes or no?
I feel like CMS doesn't have a good understanding on the difference between a call center and a field agent. I feel like they don't understand the industry they're regulating. So I think they lump everybody into one bucket, into one pot.